Hi, welcome back to another video of Roy's Reviews. Today we're going to talk to the new Marvel movie, The Eternals. Before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn notifications for more of your movie needs. And now let's get into it. So it says, The Eternals is a race of immortal beings with superhuman powers who have secretly lived on Earth for thousands of years and reunite to battle the evil deviants. So anyway, that's the story. It's like the main little, that's what we get a little bit of right before it actually starts. Well, that's what it says. So I think this movie is probably going to be the worst Marvel movie of all time. And will be for a long time, because I don't know. The cast is bad. Like, they're good actors, but it's just not good. I mean, like, it just doesn't fit. Like, Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, Harry Styles is playing Thanos' brother. You know how ridiculous that sounds? That's like Taylor Swift playing Gamora's sister. I'm like, that's absolutely dumb. So I just think this is going to be a terrible movie. And first time Marvel will have a downside with one of their movies. Because it just looks very disappointing. Like, it had a lot of hype in the first, with the little teaser. But now they're showing all this stuff. Like, the CGI looks weird, kind of like what we got in Black Panther. And, I mean, a great movie, but, like, the CGI in the end with T'Challa versus Killmonger, it was bad. Like, I don't know what was going on. They kind of just, like, were doing really good along the movie, and then the last 20 minutes are like, screw it. And the ratings for this by the rating companies, usually I don't trust them, but I totally understand what's going on here. But Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 53% Rotten Tomatoes out of 100%. That's awful. I've never seen a scale like that for any of the Marvel movies. They're usually maybe at least 65% or up, for sure. And then IMDb rates it a 6.4 out of 10. They're usually a lot different than Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes are a lot like, they either go too high or too low, and I'm just like, just getting a little in the middle. But this movie, I definitely understand why they didn't like it. And another thing, this movie has something Marvel wouldn't usually do, but a sex scene, and it's like, there's no need for that, especially with Marvel. Like, kids watch this stuff. We don't need that in this. DC never really did it. I mean, in the new Suicide Squad 2, they kind of did, but not even really. They were like, they didn't show anything. It wasn't even that bad. But I just don't understand. It just seems so ridiculous that they're like, let's do this. This might, let's change things up. And I just think it's absolutely terrible. And honestly, I blame the director. I haven't even seen this movie, but I'm sure it might be a little good, but I just think the director, it's mainly her fault, honestly. Because I've seen what her work is. It's a lot different. It's more serious, and it's not what Marvel would usually do. So I was very shocked that they hired her, because this movie just looks bad. It looks so different. And what's weird is they made a Superman reference, and apparently Superman is now confirmed to be in the Marvel universe, and I just think that's just ridiculous. It makes no sense. I mean, okay, so it's like a dream come true, but it's a dream that I don't really want to happen, because I don't want Marvel to get too ridiculous too fast. Like, we haven't even introduced fully Spider-Man meeting Venom yet, and like now you're talking about Superman. And what if Star Wars, the Darth Vader's base is hidden in this TV show? I'm like, oh my gosh, you're telling me they're already introducing DC and Star Wars? I'm like, it's so weird. It's dumb. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Eternals. Yeah, I just think it's disappointing. And women directors, I got nothing against them, but they usually don't turn out as well. I mean, Thor 2, Thor the Dark World, or whatever it's called, that's how bad it is. I don't even remember the title. Was directed by a woman, and I mean, nothing against her, but that some people consider that one of the worst Marvel movies for now. Harley Quinn, that one movie, that's terrible. Wonder Woman 2, terrible. I mean, there's just some bad movies made by women directors. It's mainly the women writers, honestly. I don't blame. Women directors can be very good. It's just, I don't like this lady, because she's too serious. Like I said, she's just too serious for Marvel. And the fact that she's trying to fit in all these intimate scenes and all that dumb crap just doesn't make sense for Marvel to do that. So I don't know what Kevin Feige or Marvel was really thinking into hiring her. Got nothing against women directors or writers. I think they're fantastic, but, well, directors. The women directors are good, but women writers, so far, haven't had a good run. Like, because Harley Quinn was terrible. Wonder Woman was very disappointing. Like, there was so much hype for that movie, I thought, and then I was very worried how it was going to go, and it did turn out bad. Like, kind of how I figured it would. But yeah, and I think Eternals is going to be a very big upset for Marvel. It'll be the first time. And I've seen memes where it's like DC's like, is this your first time? Sucking pretty much. Marvel's just doing really bad. I don't know. I feel like, so ever since Endgame, they kind of had a downhill thing going on. I feel like, well, because Endgame was really good, but some people didn't like it because it was too long or other reasons. I mean, I thought it was just too long, so I was like, okay, but it's fine because it's like the ultimate, like big ending for Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow. So it makes sense, and it's just the ultimate big fight against Thanos, who's been, like with them forever since the first Avengers. And yeah, and then Spider-Man 2 was a disappointment, a lot of hype, but I don't think it was as good as I thought until the ending. I mean, it was a good credit scene, but other than that, it was an okay Marvel movie. They're just not as good as I thought. Shang-Chi seems pretty good. Some people thought it was disappointing, and I think it was bad. And this Eternals this looks terrible too as well. This looks like it was made by DC, and that's saying a lot because DC just sucks recently. Last good DC movie I can think of was probably, well, the Snyder Cut. But other than that, I mean, that wasn't even that fantastic. I mean, definitely better than the first one, but just not as good. It's funny comparing a Marvel movie to a DC movie because DC has been really bad recently. But and it's funny because I feel, because this is how it's going to go, I feel like, for the next year. After, because I'm hoping Thor 4 will be good, and Spider-Man No Way Home, which, could have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it, which would be awesome. But after that, I mean, DC's got some big stuff coming ahead too. I mean, they got Batman, The Flash, Aquaman 2, Shazam, like I said, Black Adam. I don't know if I already said that, but I can't think of anything else. But those look really good. Like, they seem like DC has figured it out, Like, Joker was good too. Like, that was a good movie. Suicide Squad 2, it was okay. I mean, they even got Peacemaker TV show coming out on HBO. That looks good. I mean, I hated him in the movie. I know I said this, in a couple videos ago. I might have misjudged a little bit. That movie was really bad, but John Cena, I could see how he's changing a little bit. Don't think he's the greatest actor, but it looks like they're changing their ways, It looks ridiculous. I mean, there's a scene in the trailer where he's hugging an eagle, and I'm like, okay, it's funny, but because he makes a joke about it, because he's like, oh, I'm hugging an eagle. It's like, okay. But anyway, there's that. This looks like a DC movie, really, honestly. It just looks really bad. I mean, this is also our first character, I think, I don't know his name, but has laser vision. It's like, he looks like Superman because they make the joke in there, and that's where Superman comes in. Well, they're like, oh, it's Superman. It's like, nope. So that's just weird. It's very disappointing because these are good actors, except Harry Styles. That was absolutely dumb when I heard he's going to play Thanos' brother. I'm expecting this movie to be very terrible, and I hope we never have to see them again. And yeah, that's the video. That's my review on Eternals. Maybe it could be good. I don't know how they'll do it. They might be able to change it in some way. I'm just hoping this isn't the future like these people. I'm just hoping it's just some backstory and that we'll never have to deal with again. Just throw it away in the trash after it's over and never have to think about it. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and peace.